You know, we give so much to work, to our kids, significant others, husbands, boyfriends. But this little bit, this little, what is it, 10% of my day, because I work out several times a day, prepare my meals. This little bit, it's just for me. It's personal. So this morning, even though I wanted to quit and sit down on the floor and just be like, nah, I can't do this. Them burpees, I was like, nah, I can't do this morning. I pushed through it, tears in my eyes. I kept going. And it was significant for me because throughout my whole adult life, I put everything. I've always been willing to put myself last for everybody else to feel like they're a priority. It's okay to take care of you. And it's okay to take care of you first. It's okay to love on you too. You should not have to be the sacrifice for everybody else to be good and for everybody else to be happy. And at the end of the day, you're not happy. So I hope this encouraged somebody.
Okay, APs, so we're gonna run this down. You all seen the title, How I Lost 35 Pounds in 8 Weeks. Yes, no gym. I did not go to the gym. I did not do any weight loss schemes or anything like that. Strictly stuck to the plan. I strictly stuck to the plan. So I'm going to go into detail, and I'm going to hit on a few things that I did throughout the process that helped make it easier for me, some things I realized about myself throughout the process, and I'm just going to run it down to you. So let's get started so I don't keep you here all day. The first thing I did was I changed my mindset. I realized that there were things that I had to deal with, as you all seen in the intro, and I put it in the intro because I did not want to get emotional while I did the video to give you all the information. I did not want to be all over the place while I gave you all the information. So I made sure I put that information in the beginning. So first, I had to change my mindset, y'all. I knew that my biggest enemy was going to be my mind. And I knew that my love and addiction for food was going to be a problem. So I knew that I had to first mentally prepare myself. I fasted and I prayed to God before I began the process, at least about a week or so before I even started. I prayed and I fasted before I even started, because I knew that it was going to be a challenge for me. You know, I asked God to help me deal with my addiction for food and change my mindset on how I view food. Growing up in a Black community, we use food for everything. Food when someone passed, food when someone's graduating, happy moments, sad moments. So growing up, all I knew was food. We had food if we didn't have anything else. Food was replaced for love and attention. We just used food for everything. So I knew that throughout life, I used food as a means of a safe place. Food has always been a safe place for me and a lot of others. You know, we go to food. I knew I had those issues that I had to deal with. So first, I had to change my mindset, and I had to get God to help me to change my mindset and my views towards food. So that is what I did first. That is first and foremost. You know, you have to change your mindset about food, and you have to be able to admit that you have a strange and an unhealthy addiction to food. So that was one thing. That was number one. That was the number one thing that I had to do, was I had to change my mindset. The second thing I had to do was to plan. And this one can go a little in depth, because planning for some is different. So the second thing I want you to do after you change your mind, because you can change your mind, but if you don't have a plan on how you're going to do it and how you're going to be successful, then it's just all going. So they go two together. You got to change your mind, and then you got to make a plan on how you're going to do it. You know, you got to solve the problem. You have to figure it out. So first, you know, I would like to say I worked out. I worked out, and I've always worked out, but I have an addiction to food. So because I have that addiction to food, I knew that nothing was going to change if I didn't change how I ate. So I planned out my meals. Now, my APs that know me know that I do not meal plan for a whole week. I do 3 days at a time, because I really don't like leftovers. So I do 3 days at a time. So my boyfriend would grill my food through, you know, whatever I said I wanted, whether it was chicken, fish, hamburgers, whatever it was that I wanted, pork chops, steaks. He would grill that every Saturday or either Sunday. And usually on Sunday he would get out on the grill. He would grill all of the meat that I was going to eat. He would grill asparagus. He would cook kale greens. I love kale greens, and that was my go-to green vegetable throughout my process. Throughout the process, I will attach pictures. You will just about always see kale greens or asparagus or zucchini or something like that, but you will always really see kale greens. That was like my go-to thing. So I said I would prep 3 days at a time. Now, to each his own. Now, if you can tolerate eating, you know, whatever you cooked from 5 days ago, because listen, this is just a thing with me. You know how you grew up, and after about 2 days in the refrigerator, your mom was like, throw that out. That ain't no good. It's been in the refrigerator for 2 days. Or it's been in the refrigerator for 3 days. It's not any good anymore. That concept has kind of carried over with me. I think in my head mentally, it's like, 3 days, that food ain't no good no more. I want fresh food. I do not want, like, some people freeze their food, and that's fine, you know, and I'm sure it's better that way. But in my mind, just sticking something in the refrigerator and it's in there for like past 2 days, I'm not eating that. I'm not eating it. But hey, you know, so that was a big, huge part of me being successful, was to plan out my meals. And listen, when I tell you, y'all see this little girl from Alabama, y'all hear it. You may not know it, but you hear it. I like good food. So just eating any kind of boxed food at the store, like, cause it say it's diet, I'm not gonna be able to be a participant in that. It's gotta at least have some flavor. So listen, I was eating stuff like carbless burgers, you know, with good seasoning in it, with mushrooms in it. I would take that, he would take it and grill it, and I would take it and wrap it around some lettuce, y'all. And listen, I would add some of that sugar-free barbecue sauce on there and some mustard. Let me tell you, that's bust. In the words of my son, that's bust. Not bust in, that's bust all the way. So let me just put that out there. Another thing about my diet too is I did what they call Carb Cycle, and I still do that diet still to this day. I still do Carb Cycle. I just switch it around because I like it. I like, when I actually lost the 35 pounds, I would do 3 days. I would do 3 days of low to no carbs. And on that 4th day, I would do carbs. So I would eat my rice. I would eat my, the things that I wanted to eat. Listen, I would have my sweet potatoes on that day. I would have my oatmeal that day. I would have my rice cakes on that day. I'm talking about, I did it big. I would have my fruit. I would actually enjoy the foods that I wanted. And usually it was Taco Tuesday. So on Taco Tuesday, I have these, the tortillas out of the store, the Joseph's, and I would eat my tacos just like everybody else, but with the bread that didn't have as many carbs in it, even though it was my carb day. So let me tell you, carb cycling, I did 3 days of low to no, and I did 1 day of high. Now, if you want me to go into detail, because I do not have time on this video to go into detail about it, if you want me to go into detail about what I did, different things that I did with the carb cycling, different things that I ate, let me know down below, and we'll go ahead and I'll shoot a video out there on that. So with my planning, whatever I ate for dinner the day previous, I would turn around and I would eat that for lunch. So if I ate a carbless burger for dinner, I would turn around and eat a carbless burger for lunch. And then for dinner, I would eat something different. So that's kind of how I did that whole thing. Whatever I ate for dinner, I kind of turned around and ate it for lunch, and I just portioned it out the way that it's supposed to be. So, my snacks throughout was peanut butter and peanuts. Peanut butter and peanuts, a half a green apple, rice cakes. Those were my go-to things, y'all. Let me tell you, I went to those things if I got hungry. If I wanted something sweet, I would just stick the spoon down in the peanut butter and eat the peanut butter. And everybody know how sticky peanut butter is. By the time you finish wrestling with peanut butter, and you don't even want nothing else. You're like, I don't even want the cookies. I don't even want the cakes. I don't even want nothing else. I'm good. I'm straight. So that was what I did as far as planning. So mindset, I changed my mind. I made a plan and I executed. I did what I had to do. I ate the food that I was supposed to eat. I did it all. I did the workouts, y'all. I did some tough workouts. I did DP, the heat challenge. Oh my God, the meal plan off of there changed my life. It opened my eyes up and it taught me a lot about food. It taught me a lot about how to eat the food, and it gave me enjoyable options. So the heat challenge was bust. Let me tell you, that was it. Second, I did a trainer called Carlos, he is HOF, House of Fire. Let me tell you, he got way too much energy. You do about 20 minutes of him and you good for the whole day. You don't need nothing else. So he is awesome. House of Fire, Carlos. I also did the Ab Guru. I did him. Listen, everything that I did during this time period was virtual. I did not go to the gym. I did not go and get a personal trainer and he was at my house. I did every single thing virtual. Everything during that time was virtual. Like I said, it could be done at home. It wasn't, I think I may have had some weights, but I didn't have a whole bunch of equipment. I didn't have a whole bunch of stuff. I just picked up some weights and was like, hey, let's make it happen with that. So what I do want to say, along with mindset, planning, and actually doing the work, I learned so much about myself during that time frame. There was a lot of things that I had been going through, and I learned so much. I had to dig deep a lot of days, y'all. I mean, I had to really dig deep a lot of days to be able to do what it was that I had to do. This video is not coming on here to tell you that it is going to be easy, because it was not easy. It is not easy when everybody else around you is eating fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and big slices of cake. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy when you're addicted to Coca-Colas. I'm not telling you that it's going to be easy. I'm not going to tell you it's easy at all. But what I am going to tell you to do is choose you. And I'm going to tell you that you can do it. And it all comes down to a battle of you versus you, which is your mind versus the patterns and the fact that you don't want to change. Change is the hardest barrier to get over, because we get in a routine. We get in this whole routine of just what we do on a regular basis. And sometimes, and I'm just talking to, sometimes we really don't put the time aside to plan and do the things that we need to do for ourselves. It's not that we probably don't want to eat healthy. We just rather fix what everybody else want to eat, you know. And then we have other people that tell us stuff like, oh, it's too expensive to eat healthy. Listen, I pretty much bought a whole week's worth of food with like $30, $35. It's only you that's eating it. Most of the time, the rest of the family, they don't want it. They want whatever they've been eating. You know, they really don't want that. So it may cost you about $25, $30. And if you want me to do a video on that one, I will do a video on that one too, on how to prepare your meals for about $25, $30 at the most, on getting the healthy meal choices that you need. What I do want to say is, the one last but not least thing that was so beneficial to me during the process was I found a support group of people that was eating like me, that was working out like me, and that were doing the things that I was doing. I had a group of ladies that I could talk to, because during that time, you know, my thyroids were all over the place. My thyroids were out of control. And I'll even post the pictures. My throat was so swollen. And you know, you look at these videos and the people come on there and they tell you, look, consult a doctor prior to you getting started to any exercise regimen or whatever. I'm not a doctor or physician. I'm saying the same thing. And I'm saying that because I had underlying health conditions that I didn't even know I had. And I go to the doctor. I'm one of those people that go to the doctor. I go to the doctor. But unless you go to the doctor and actually tell them what it is that you want to do, they're not going to find anything. So I went and I'm like, my throat's swollen, blah, blah, blah. It just stays swollen. And it's like, oh, well, we think you got a thyroid condition, blah, blah, blah. So they just went on with that. And it was like, oh, well, your numbers came back and they're borderline, but they're not too bad. Oh, okay. So they didn't do anything else. Come to find out, and it took a while after then for them to find out that I have a heart condition. And some of the workouts that I was doing was causing extra stress on my body. So once I realized that, hey, Denise, you can't do the high intensity every day, you can't do that every day, then the weight started to come off. So this is for somebody out there too that is doing the work. You're eating the food, you're doing what you're supposed to do, and the weight don't come off. I was into the program, I think about maybe 3 weeks before I actually started seeing any difference. When I started doing the meditation and I got my diagnosis, like, hey, look, you may not be able to do this. At first it was the thyroid, so I started taking an herbal remedy to help me with my thyroid, and it did. And the weight just started just coming off. I started doing a meditation in the morning, deep breaths throughout the day, and I started doing a meditation again in the evening, along with my workout. I stopped doing the high intensity, every day of the week. I would only do it maybe like 2 days out the week, and I would just walk, keep my heart rate around 135, so I wouldn't bring extra stress onto my body, because with thyroid condition, that's like adding extra stress on the top of that. It just really just throws your adrenaline off track. So you're gonna have to relax for your body to be able to lose the weight that you need to lose. So remember that. Meditation, deep breaths throughout the day, meditation again at night. Make sure you do your cardio. Eat the food that you have planned out. Like I said, I did carb cycling. It's a wonderful lifestyle change because I still do it now. Whereas now I have lost the weight that I need to lose. I'm only like maybe 2 pounds away from there or whatever. I've lost the weight that I need to lose. In order to maintain it, it's a little bit harder. So I still carb cycle. I just don't do it the long stretch like I used to. So those are the 4 steps. You got to change your mind. You got to plan. You got to execute that plan. What is a plan if you don't execute it? What is a plan if you don't execute it? You got to execute it. It's up to you to change your mind. It is up to you to plan it. It is up to you to execute it. And it's also great when you find a great support group. I found a great group of ladies that I work with throughout the process, and we have carried this process over. Be accountable is serious. We're serious about this thing. So if you have any questions, post them below. Remember, before you start any diet or exercise regimen, before you start any diet and exercise regimen, and I seriously mean that, coming from me, I seriously mean that, consult your doctor. Tell your doctor, look, I'm about to start this workout. I'm going to be doing high intensity workout. I need to know if my heart is good. I need to know if my thyroids are good. I need to get the okay from you. And I don't just want you to tell me that it's okay. You okay, you can just start. No. I want you to get the whole rundown on whether it's okay to start this diet and get it